Hey guys, today I want to talk about one of my favorite players on tour. Just won his second round. Has a good shot at winning his third round against Ben Shelton if he's not too tired because he's playing doubles and singles and had 5-set matches. But Mannarino, one of my favorite players because he's different than every player on tour. And they have an article on him on the ATP Tour. If you check this out, it just talks about how it looks effortless for him. And this just shows you that the timing does win in matches and gets you power. Okay, so you don't need to just be new school and rip the ball if that's not your talent. And I keep hitting that point, and I love players that illustrate that point like him. So I'm going to break down why he's so effective in this video, starting with his serve. So the first thing is his serve out wide. Okay, he likes to cheat over. If you watch it in videos on his slice serve, especially serving out to the lefties, to the righty's backhand, he'll stand really far off to the side, right? And so he stands really far off to the side to hit out wide. And the player knows it. So you watch him here against Taylor Fritz. They know he's going to stand out wide, but it's just so good. It pulls him off the court. He has a 1-2 punch anyways, okay? So he does that well. So, you know, maybe as a righty, if you have a really good slider, really good slice serve, but it's, you know, you don't have as much pace, start using this. Start standing out a little bit wider, especially, you know, when you're playing your USTA tournaments or whatever, and start trying to pull them off the court. Because even though it's to their forehand, they still have to stand all the way over in that area, reaching for the ball or hitting the ball. So even if they get there and they can rip the crap out of the ball, if they're out in the alley, what's the only way they can rip it? Towards the middle here or back to your forehand, right? If they go down the line, you have a backhand cross. So the placement of the serve is huge. Now, the second thing you're going to see is the body serve. So it looks like he's going to go out wide. He still stands over here, but then he takes off a little bit of pace and goes into the body, messes him up, right? So they know by him standing out there, he can go out wide, he can go body. And then the last thing, of course, here it is, a flat bomber. I think it was 127 miles per hour on Fritz down the tee. So, you know, us at this level, we might not be able to rip 127 miles per hour, but we can get, you know, between 100, 115 probably with a nice flat serve up the middle, up the tee, sorry. So that's the first thing we can learn about Mannarino, how he mixes up his serves. He's not the biggest server on the tour, but he places it really well and works out the point. The second thing, and my favorite thing, because it's my style, gosh, I'm going to get a match footage of me very soon, but I was hitting again, you know, just cracking the ball today, and he told me, he's like, no one hits the ball as low as you over the net besides me. And again, he played in ASU in the 70s, a fantastic player. And yeah, no one, like he said, no one hits up or flat like me, right? They all hit up on the ball. So that's what Mannarino does. So when you're watching this footage here, man, the ball comes up, he's almost hitting down on the ball. And by hitting down on the ball, if you're good at it and you can do it, if it's your talent, the timing of that makes the ball skid and stay low, so they have to pull up on it. So you're watching this video footage here. Look at Taylor Fritz. He'll get into a rally, and he'll get a nice quick ball nice and low. And especially because Taylor is like, what, 6'6"? He bends down, and he framed. Here's two balls where he frames the ball, and it goes really far out because he's trying to hit hard on a ball that's that low. So it really takes the power out of a topspin player's game that has more of this modern stuff. If you can get on top of the ball and hit sort of down on the ball, because then it's going to force them to slice. That's one thing, and the key, a real big key to Mannarino's game, is taking the ball early. Now, in addition to taking it early, he's great at redirecting the ball, which is, he just has a good feel for where to place the ball to get it out of their strike zone when he is playing a bigger hitter, and also how to hurt them. So here again, you're watching him play Fritz, and they're going back and forth, 1-2. He gets the ball right in his wheelhouse, boom, takes it up the line, and then he's going to be over for the next shot. But right when that ball sits there, it's not hard, and it's not like a big, huge winner. It's just him taking the ball off the bounce on the apex and then just coming through it. Now, he's a little bit different than Agassi and stuff, which is why I like him, because Agassi, again, I couldn't crack the ball as big as Agassi. And Mannarino is more, he can hit it hard, but it's more of a just a timing thing, right? So in addition, you guys probably don't know this, Mannarino strings his rackets. He's known to string it very, very low. And the lowest I think he's ever strung it was 19 pounds. So it creates more of a trampoline effect so that the ball goes farther, and it also allows for more ball pocketing and a little bit more spin, because think about the ball. It's going to hold in by dwell. I mean, when the ball is being struck, the strings bend back more, so it holds it on the strings more. And that also explains how it creates more of like a trampoline. So the ball bends the strings back and then it explodes off, right? So that helps with pocketing, spin, and power. And if you're having wrist issues, and that's the reason he did it, he strung them really light. He strings his rackets really light because he's having wrist and arm injuries and stuff. So that's a way to deal with it. I'm actually going to play around with going down to probably about back to 40 pounds because I'm having some wrist issues too, because I am more of that way, more of a timing guy. So those are the two really great things that he does well. And he's also takes the pace off the ball well. But watch him against Ben Shelton. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen. And I alluded to it in the beginning, but man, he had 2 5-set matches and he had a doubles match. I think he's going to be playing another doubles match. So there's not a lot of time for rest. So I'm curious to see what type of Mannarino we're going to get. But I think it could be a really good match as long as he's fresh enough against Ben Shelton, because you saw Ben Shelton when he played this last round. He's still, one of the commentators I think said it really well when they talked about Sinner and Holger, and Ben Shelton also falls into this, which is these guys, unlike the big three, they play like on that fine line between aggression, like too aggressive, and aggressive, right? So like all of their matches, because they're so aggressive, a lot of their matches are closer against, you know, some of the top 20, 40 players in the world, because they are taking so much risk, as opposed to the big three. You know, Djokovic, he's playing a little bit more aggressive because he's getting older and has to put it away. But the big three played more of percentage tennis within their aggression, right? And Federer, when he was younger, as they got older, they took more and more risk. And these younger guys seem to really just, you know, go at that ball and not take the time to work out the point. And Nadal talked about that before the Australian Open. He says, you know, today the guys, and some people think it's hating. I don't think it's hating. You know, it's just a different style of game. And I love watching all tennis, and I just like, you know, a certain style. And Nadal was just saying, hey, now they hit the ball so big and it's not as much, you know, point construction and strategy. And that's why I have fun coaching tennis and the lower levels, because it is more about strategy and stuff. And I like choosing players. I've already said this in my last videos, but with this current player, with Mannarino, it really is cool to see how he deals with the current players at that high of a level, right? Simone was, you know, quite a bit like him too, his countryman. But try it out. If you are struggling and, you know, your topspin game's not working and you are a timer, try and study Mannarino a bit. See how he likes to change direction on the ball quite a bit before getting into trouble. So if he is playing a bigger hitter, he's going to change direction on them before they can change direction on him with a big shot. And then try it out off the serve, like I talked about, standing more out wide if you're a righty. If you're a lefty, standing more outside on the ad court and trying to swing that ball off the side of the court more. All right? All right, till next time, guys.